All right, everyone, the moment we've been waiting for is finally here. Ninja Gaiden 4's huge 1.002 patch just went live, and you know we've got to dive in. We're going to break down every single detail from the official notes and figure out what this really means for your game. Okay, let's just cut right to the chase, right? The big question on everyone's mind is the game actually better now? What are you really going to notice the next time you pick up that dragon sword? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out. So here's the game plan for today. We'll start with a quick overview of the patch itself, then dive into the good stuff, the gameplay improvements. After that, we'll cover all the technical polish, the fixes for each platform, and wrap up with what the devs are still hammering away at. Let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off with the basics. So, Update 1.002 officially rolled out everywhere on October 29th, 2025. And look, this one's a big deal. It's supposed to address a ton of the feedback we've all been giving since launch. So before you mash that download button, let's take a look at what you're getting. Now about the download itself. The size is a little different depending on where you're playing. If you're on Xbox, you're looking at about 3.1 gigs. For all you PS5 players, it's a little smaller at 2.8 gigs. And for the PC crowd, it's the lightest of the bunch, coming in at just 1.9 gigs. So yeah, just a little heads up on what to expect. Okay, enough with the logistics. Let's get to the part we all really care about. The gameplay. How does combat actually feel different now? These are the changes that you're going to notice right away, right in the thick of it. And we're starting with a real game changer, folks. The enemies, they're smarter now. A lot smarter. So if you thought you had all their attack patterns memorized, well, you might want to throw that playbook out the window. This is going to get interesting. And yeah, this applies especially to the big guys. The bosses have gotten a serious upgrade. They now have what's called enhanced dodge detection. In plain English, they're way better at reading your moves. That old reliable dodge and slash you've been spamming, yeah, they're gonna see that coming now and make you pay for it. Now for all you PS5 ninjas out there, you're in for a treat. They've tweaked the adaptive triggers on the DualSense controller specifically for ranged weapons. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means the next time you go to fire your bow, that feeling of tension in the trigger is going to be way more responsive, more immediate. It just makes aiming feel so much more tactile and, honestly, a lot more satisfying. All right, let's pop the hood for a minute and talk about the technical stuff. Now, this might not sound as flashy as smarter enemies, but trust me, these fixes are what make everything else possible. We're talking about a smoother, more stable game from top to bottom. And these techie terms, they actually mean real, noticeable improvements for you. Reduced CPU peaks, that means way fewer annoying stutters when you're in those busy city areas. Adjusted VRAM allocation, that fixes that ugly texture pop-in you sometimes see after using Quick Resume. And for PS5 players, improved SSD cache logic means checkpoints reload even faster. Getting you back in the fight quicker is always a good thing. And let's talk about stability, because this patch delivers some huge wins here. You know that crash that sometimes happened when you tried to start the Ninja trials? It's fixed. That absolutely rage-inducing soft lock you could get during a boss transition? Gone. And maybe the best news of all, the risk of your save file getting corrupted has been seriously cut down. I think we can all breathe a massive sigh of relief on that one. They've also been cleaning up the visuals. So, you know how sometimes the shadows would look kind of weird when you went from inside a building to outside? Well, they've completely optimized that. It's a much more seamless transition now, which really helps with the immersion. It's one of those small things you might not consciously notice, but it just makes the whole world feel more believable. And the polish doesn't stop there. We've got a whole list of other key fixes. Lip syncing for both English and Japanese is now fixed in those early cutscenes. The background music won't get all out of whack during combat anymore, which is great for staying in the zone. They've also tweaked the lighting in cinematics to get rid of some of those really harsh flashes. Oh, and that weird bug where sword clash particles would just disappear? That's fixed too. Okay, moving on, let's get into the fixes that are specific to your system. Whether you're playing on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, the devs had some special attention just for you. Let's break it down. First up, PlayStation 5. The HDR lighting in some indoor areas was a little intense, right? Kind of blown out. Well, that's been corrected. They also squashed a bug that caused input delay if you switched your controller from wireless to wired. And finally, a small one, but it's nice, the game version now actually shows the right number in the menu. All right, Xbox players, your turn. If you're running the game in that slick 120 Hz mode, you'll be happy to know the audio desync problem is a thing of the past.
That annoying menu flicker when you switched between performance modes, also gone. Plus, they've fine-tuned the dynamic resolution during boss fights, so the picture should stay much sharper when the action gets crazy.
And of course, we've got the PC players. You guys get some really nice quality of life updates. For starters, if you have an older CPU, the game will now give you an error message instead of just crashing to the desktop with no explanation. The weird screen stretching on ultra-wide monitors is fixed, and here are two big ones for you. Shader compilation is now way faster, which means less waiting around, and the launcher is a lot smarter about detecting your graphics card. Now, one thing that's really cool is that the developers are being super open about what's not fixed yet. The work's not over, so let's take a quick look at the known issues that are still on their to-do list. So, what are they still looking into? Well, for PC folks, DLSS is still just a simple on or off switch with no other options. They're also investigating reports of co-op getting out of sync when you play with people in different parts of the world. And finally, some PC players on ultra-wide screens are still seeing some minor visual glitches. They're on it. So, when you take a step back and look at the whole package, what's the verdict on patch 1.002? Honestly, it feels like a really crucial step in the right direction. It's not just about fixing bugs, it's about shoring up the very foundation of the game. The stability, the performance, the feel of combat. It's clear they're serious about building the definitive Ninja experience here. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? The game is, without a doubt, in a much better place. It's smoother, it's smarter, it's more stable. So with that foundation now solid, what's the number one thing you think the game needs next? Is it new story content? More online modes? I'm really curious to hear what you guys think, so drop a comment down below and let's talk about it. Thanks for hanging out.